Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, continuing our next session about gratitude, the last time, as you will recall, we talked about Arthur Ashe and his writing Why Me? And about some of the about being grateful for yani we sort of came up with this on the fly, but being grateful for our own shoes, that the shoes that Allah has given us, meaning what Allah has given us in our lives. So if you haven't seen that part one of this video, then definitely go and take a look at that, and then come here. And today what we're going to be talking about is the research, or some of the research, because the research has actually started to become very robust. Some of the scientific research, and as everybody knows, I'm a child psychiatrist, and this is stuff that I deal with on a daily basis. So dealing with some of the research that has started to come out about gratitude. So as I was preparing this talk, and I went back and I started looking for articles about research. Articles about gratitude. So there are some things that have been researched, and there are articles that have been published about them. So, for example, there are some supplements, or there are some devices, like devices that you might put into a person, that some of those devices are fairly early in their research, and they only have 20 to 30 research articles, or maybe 100 or fewer, as the research is starting to sort of come about. But when you look up gratitude, there are 1,239 articles on gratitude. 1,000, not 100, not 10, not 1. 1,239 articles. Now, these particular articles are peer-reviewed journal articles. In other words, that when I write something and I want to get it into a peer-reviewed journal, I have to give it to a number of my peers who have this similar education as mine. They have similar background, similar research, similar they've done things that are similar to what I've done, and I have to give it to a number of them, and if it passes their sniff test, then it can get published, and that's called peer-reviewed. So there are 1,239 peer-reviewed articles, journal articles. Now, how many non-peer-reviewed articles are there? Meaning stuff that I can write, or that anyone can write and get it published online, or in a magazine or something like that. Since 2015, so in the past 4 years, there are 100,000 articles on gratitude and the benefits of gratitude, and relating to some of the scientific journals that we mentioned earlier. So, ready to go over all of them? We are going to we'll take actually one of them to go over in depth, and we'll do that at the end. Before we get to that article, which is an amazing article done by two researchers from Indiana, and is published by UC Berkeley. Before we get to that, I want to take about two or three articles, and just summarize them really briefly about gratitude. So I'll give you the name of the article, and then where it's published and when, and then just a quick little snippet about what it finds, or what the findings are. And these are all peer-reviewed journal articles. So the first of them is what's called a meta-analysis. So it's kind of a review article, meaning up to that point, these writers went back and they looked at a whole bunch of articles, or really almost everything that's been published up to that point, but maybe not necessarily everything that's been published. In this particular case, they took 65 articles that were published on gratitude, and in those 65 articles, that's a lot of articles, 65 articles. They read all of the details, they looked at all of the research and how they did the analysis, and how they got their subjects, and how they did came up to their conclusions, and and they drew conclusions again, and then they anyway, it's an amazing to see a review article is an incredible find. So I was so happy, I was jumping with joy. I was grateful for the review article on gratitude. So 65 articles, and in those articles, the total number of people the total number of subjects in all 65 articles totaled 18,000. 18,000 people were researched in all of those 65 articles total. So the title of this article is Does Gratitude Enhance Prosociality or Sociability? Meaning, sociality or sociability is how likable you are, how much people actually like you, how social, how friendly you are, how easy it is to get along with you. So does gratitude make you more get alongable? Does gratitude make you more social? Does gratitude make you more likable, more friendly? Published in Psychological Bulletin, June 2017, so very recent, so just about 2 years old. What they found is that gratitude does make you more pleasant to be around. And anyone who finds, okay, so that's what they found. Gratitude makes, so in a sentence, so all of that build up for one sentence, gratitude makes you more friendly. Yes, it does. So going on, what I'm adding to that is that anyone who finds that if you find that you've got no friends, then try one thing. Try becoming more genuinely grateful internally. And then try expressing some of that genuine gratitude, really heartfelt gratitude, externally. In other words, try feeling like, wow, you know what? My life ain't so bad. My shoes ain't so bad. I've got such and such. I've got eyes and ears. I've got a job. If I don't have a job, I've got a place to live. If I don't have a place to live, I've got, people who care about me. If I don't have people who care about me, Allah has given me the ability to work on that. So regardless of where you are in life, just like Arthur Ashe said, that the kid in the farmhouse is looking at the airplane and dreaming about flying, while the pilot is looking at the farmhouse and wishing to be home. So try being more internally grateful, and then try bringing that genuine internal gratitude out into the public sphere and expressing that gratitude and showing that gratitude in different ways to other people. People are more attracted to those who are more gracious. The second article that I want to talk about is published in the Journal of Palliative Medicine. The Journal of Palliative Medicine. So here, therefore, we're talking about end-of-life issues and palliative care. And the title of the article is Gratitude at the End of Life, a promising lead for palliative care. November 2018. So 1 year ago this was published. And they said, in a palliative care and an end-of-life setting, in a palliative and end-of-life setting, so, people who are diagnosed with cancer and they are at the end stage of cancer and there's nothing that surgeons can do, there's nothing that medicine can offer, and their care is just getting to the point that the family, for whatever reason, can't take care of them, in whatever way, they end up needing to go to palliative care. And so there are sort of like residential, you can take that person to a residential live-in setting, and then they spend the last few weeks or days of their life or months of their life in that setting, and then they pass. The goal of that setting is that there are nurses there are physicians there are caregivers and providers and counselors, and they're just people that can help the family kind of get through this tough time. So that's what a palliative care setting is, and the same as end-of-life setting. So in a palliative care and end-of-life setting, those patients who are admitted, who have higher levels of gratitude, have three things going for them, three things that they found. They have a higher quality of life, and that's the thing that as a physician we're always trying to talk to patients and family about, quality of life. If we give you this medicine, it's going to reduce your quality of life, or it's going to make you bedbound, or it's going to make you, pee a lot. So, that's a lower quality of life. So patients who were who had higher gratitude, measured by gratitude scales, had a higher quality of life, meaning that they reported that their life was better. And that's what's important, that you feel like, man, my life is better than it was, or is pretty better than my peer who right here. The second thing that they reported is that those patients who had higher levels of gratitude had better health status, meaning that their health overall was higher and better. And the third thing that they found was that they had lower psychological distress. They had better quality of life, better health status, and they had lower psychological distress, like a lower sense of pain, a lower sense of emotional pain, a lower sense of stress and distress, just a lower psychological stress.